One, hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast where Josh is yawning. Today we are talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion episode 16. I am Nick, with me are Alex and Josh.
Hi.
Hello there.
This is the episode I've been waiting to talk about. This is my favorite angel. I've been pretty open about that for the run of us watching this show. I adore this thing's design. I think it is the coolest choice for on a conceptual level. And as I told both of them before we started recording this, I strongly chalk up my love of weird esoteric creatures to this episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Damn right.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's really creative. Very good inversion, and I feel like it almost needed to have other angels like it. Not in the same they're just this copy paste, but this showed me that they were getting really interesting with what they're willing to do.
mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see it go even further, like into the really strange, because this one's up there for strange, but it's so interesting. I wanted to see them go a little bit further.
Yep.
Because this was really good.
I do think this is the peak of what they came up with.
Yeah, I think so.
So anyway, our episode begins with Asuka getting out of the shower because of course it does. We can't have something cool happen without a teenage girl getting out of the shower first. And she immediately starts browbeating Shinji, who just kind of accepts this is his life now.
At least he's accepted it.
I mean, yeah, that's just Shinji at this point. He kind of just rolls with whatever people throw at him. He doesn't really care that much about anything.
But he does care.
I feel like he does care, and it's just he has no spine.
Yep.
That's probably broken.
Yeah, and then we get a call from Kaji.
He has no ability to feel pride. He has no ability to feel self.
Well, he's not a Saiyan.
Well, that's because he didn't have parents growing up. His mom was dead, and his dad was Gendo. He had.
Are you gonna let him get away with that? Bad Josh. No.
Sorry, he just doesn't have, the Saiyan pride.
No. No.
So yeah, Asuka gets very pissed off at the idea of Misato and Kaji being together again. And then we cut to them testing out to see if they're able to use their Avas still or some bullshit. I'm going to be honest. I feel like we get too many sequences of them just testing whether or not they can use the fucking Avas.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it communicates what it's meant to communicate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of noise. Like, yeah, all right, their sync levels are what? Who cares?
I mean,
it feels a lot different than whether Kafka's sync rate was high enough in his suit in Kaiju number 8. Like that shit mattered. This is kind of like it's not even really taking the temperature of the room anymore.
I will say, I think so. It does matter. It actually matters a shit ton, but they don't execute it properly, in my opinion. Like, eventually, it becomes very important. Not just in this show, obviously, the whole if you don't have a high enough sync rate is an issue.
Yeah, we understand what happens if you don't have a high enough sync rate.
But honestly, having too high of a sync rate is also a thing.
Well, we find that out from 2 later deaths.
Yep.
Someone shove Gendo in one right now.
I don't think he.
Do you want it to be piloted perfectly? Because he would pilot it perfectly.
I just want him to disappear.
He would pilot Unit 0 perfectly. I don't think he would be able to pilot the other two.
You don't think he'd be a good candidate for Unit 1?
I think he would be able to get it work, but not as well as Shinji. I do not think he could get Unit 2 to move at all.
He would also need to be 14
No.
years old to pilot it.
Yeah, that would also be problematic at that point if
Is
he's
that
14.
fucking explained anywhere?
They're
Not
at that age the closest to being. There is an explanation. I don't know if we get it in this or the.
we get it in the
Why
rebuild
is it
movies
children?
a lot. Well,
Yeah,
Why
I
is it
guess.
children?
Because
Tell
you're
me.
closest to God then. I don't know.
It's
I
Oh,
can't
whole
remember
bullshit,
the
dude.
reason.
puberty thing.
That's lame as hell.
No, you want to know it's okay. So I'm gonna spoil something for you, Alex.
Fine, I'm gonna watch the movies if you don't fucking let me off the leash here
Yep.
soon.
So in the rebuild movies, spoilers for anyone, skip ahead like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't fucking know how far. Spoilers. Yep, spoilers for the rebuild movies. It turns out once you start syncing with an Ava, you go into like a a biological stasis and you stop aging. So you're
That
just
doesn't
stuck.
answer any of my question at all.
It basically keeps you stuck in puberty because that's when your emotions are at their highest.
That doesn't explain why kids are the only ones who can
Because
pilot
your
these things.
emotions are the highest then. Because you're going through changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it?
I mean, that's the best answer I have for you. I think there's a better answer, but that's my
What the-
dumbed down answer.
Okay, because that's
Josh,
not
do
a.
you remember if there's a better answer? Because I think there is, but
The answer you just gave
Yeah.
me is hormones.
Yeah.
You'd know that, right?
I know. I know what I said.
Okay. I know what I said. Okay.
I know what this show is about. That's the metatextual reason. The metatextual reason is because they have hormones. I just don't remember the actual reason they give for the metatextual one.
Adults have hormones.
Yeah, but it's different because you don't know how to
Yeah,
deal
it's
with it
it's
at that
literally
age.
because at that age they're considered to have the purest and most stable connections
Yeah,
due to their mother's soul.
yeah. It's before you start shitting on your family too much.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Womb,
this angel's
Alex.
sick as
They're
fuck.
back in the womb.
So I love this thing's design. So I've talked at length about how much I love this. So this angel is the coolest idea I've heard, where it's a two-dimensional being casting a three-dimensional shadow.
It's an inverse.
Yep.
It's not 4-dimensional like I originally thought. It's 2-dimensional.
Yep.
Because it's just a shadow. It's so cool.
Yep. And like, so they keep trying to attack this three-dimensional thing, only for their attacks to go through it because it's not three-dimensional at all. And it's only when they like realize that and start going after the shadow that things start to escalate. And I love that concept. I love like a two-dimensional being casting something three-dimensional is almost like, well, obviously is a shadow, but also is like a biological defense. Like, oh, well, yeah, they attack three-dimensional things, so I'll be the two-dimensional thing, and I'll make the three-dimensional thing that they attack.
It does feel like if that was physically possible, like something that would evolve.
Yeah, 100%. Like this is just a being above nature realizing this weird little like something that isn't bound by like the laws of nature, realizing this weird quirk that exists in literally everything and exploiting the shit out of it. And I just think that's so fucking cool. Like this thing could be the entire premise of like a horror movie too. Like I could
Oh yeah, can
see
we please have that? That would
I
be an amazing twist because you wouldn't have to reveal the twist until like the 90-minute mark.
Yep.
And then it'll be such a mind fuck.
Yep. Like I could see this being like a Jordan Peele movie.
Oh
Like,
yeah, like absolutely, like on the experimental level.
yep.
All right, no one steal this from us. We're stealing this before anybody else can steal it.
Yeah, we're stealing it from a fucking anime from the 90s. You don't get to steal it. We
No
already
one
did.
thought of this before us.
We're stealing this from an anime from the 90s and also an anime movie from the 2010s. No, 2000s.
Oh God.
No one had this idea before us.
Yeah. Hideaki Anno, you can go fuck yourself. Don't actually take that seriously, Hideaki Anno. You are far more important than I will ever be.
And we love you.
You paused 0 seconds before apologizing.
I have
You
too
did
much
not even
respect
let
for
that
him.
joke set.
I have
That's
so much
because
respect for him. He's made so many
yes.
things I love recently.
Hero, you did not even breathe. There was no space between
No,
the
I,
joke and the apology.
I love him too much. Shin Rider is one of the best movies of the last 5 years.
Oh man. Could
Shin
not
Godzilla is
even
amazing,
sustain the bit for
no,
1 fucking second.
which
I
makes the
love
bit
it.
even better that I couldn't do it.
No, he had no chance. He just immediately folded. He folded before being pressed.
Yep, I folded before the idea of being
Yeah, you folded
pressed.
before the first sentence was done.
Yep. So anyway, Shinji gets eaten by the angel because he steps on the body while attacking.
Before that, we get a really good like show don't tell about how the power system works in Tokyo 3 for the Avas. I love the recovery jet
Yeah.
that the ejection plugs have. And they're like, I was wondering, like, you're in a city, a cable is really inconvenient. So having extra spots to plug in and everything like that, I thought was really, really good to show don't tell yet again.
Yep. I mean,
And then Shinji just eats shit and gets swallowed.
oh yeah. Which I also, it makes sense too, because like he's attacking what he thinks is the body. He steps on the shadow, what he thinks is the shadow, and when he does that, he realizes his mistake when it starts eating him.
But
Nom, nom,
he
nom,
does
nom.
nothing to resist.
I mean, I think I'm gonna be honest. If I stepped into what I thought was a shadow and it started eating me, I'd probably shit myself, which I'm pretty sure Shinji does in this moment.
Oh yeah, he freezes instead of fight or flight.
Dude, like that
Well,
would be the
he's still trying to
scariest
decide if
shit.
he needs to fight or flight.
That is the most terrifying concept. You step on a shadow and you just start sinking into the ground. I'd lose my mind. I'd probably question everything after that.
It's
We're
going into like a pocket dimension, right?
yeah. It's two-dimensional form has a pocket dimension inside of it where it puts three-dimensional matter, and also kind of fucks with Shinji's head because why not? This is also where we start getting the angels that are trying to understand humans more.
Yeah, I think this is the first contact of one actually trying to interrogate a person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I make the argument
There's got to
this
be deeper lore to the angels. Just like
well,
I know
so
that I'm still trying to
Aliens.
figure out all of the other bits and bobs,
Mhm.
but
so I'm
like
gonna
the actual angels and their like hive mind or lack thereof,
mhm.
like there's got to be some deeper lore.
So I actually have a theory on this. I'm not sure if it's right, but I think it holds water. So my theory is so the first few angels are just like very front on attackers, you know? Like very simple, just brute force attackers. And we get those for a
Are they
while.
sentient?
Um, I think they are not, but I think that's also intentional. So
Yeah, 'cause they
they're,
seem bestial or feral or something.
and again, that's very intentional. I think as time goes on, so
Like some of the angels show literal errors in tactical thinking.
mhm,
Like they just don't use tactical thinking at all in some
especially the
ways. Like
early ones.
they're just goal oriented, like purely plain and simple. Like even one of my favorites, the Daddy Longlegs crying one.
Mhm.
Like that thing has no tactical thought at all.
Yep.
It's just a goal-oriented being.
Yep. And I think so. My idea behind this is each angel develops based off of what the previous angel experienced. So the first angel that comes through is just a pure physical attacker. And it
Yeah, for
takes
them
like,
to like build on that makes sense to me too.
yeah, and I think like
They
it
do get
takes,
more sophisticated as they go on.
yeah, and I think it also takes like more, so it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't 100% adapt after each individual one, but it like starts to build off of the idea of what it's running into. So the first two
Which
or three,
literally makes it feel like there's a concerted effort, like there's someone at the reins somewhere.
um, I think
That's actually, like there has to be a persistent entity in
I
order for this growth to actually occur with these beings being destroyed.
so yes and no. So my based off of the way the movie sets up like another angel, I think that these angels are iterative, so like each angel develops again based off of the previous one, but they are in some way connected. So it's okay, the last one encountered this. I
Which
try
would
my best
imply
to adapt
some
to this.
persistence, right?
To an extent, yes.
Like somebody at the wheel.
No, I think it's literally just each one experiences what caused what the last one experienced and tries to build off of that. So they're all kind of connected and like, oh, so this last one ran into this, adapt to try to incorporate a strategy to circumvent that issue. And it's at this point where I think the angels have realized, because I think up until this angel, most of what they thought they were experiencing was something like them, like a brute force attacker. And like up until we get like the nanobot one and this one, they're
The
all
nanobot
trying.
one feels very targeted.
Yeah. Um, all those ones are where it starts to adapt on, okay, this can't just be some sort of thing like us where it's some brute force attacker trying to like achieve its own goal of preventing us. There has to be something going on there. So then it tries to adapt the idea of purpose behind attack beyond like
Well, it
purposeful
deploys
thinking.
greater it deploys greater tactical
Mhm.
knowledge.
Yep. And again, I think it's at the nanobot one and this one that it becomes more about purposeful attack and less about forward attack.
Well, like they're explicit in that episode with the nanobot angel, where the nanobot angel deliberately, and the whole crux of the episode is, oh, it's rapidly evolving. Its whole thing is to adapt to this ever changing situation and
Mhm.
our countermeasures to it. The fact that that is 99% successful and then fails at the last second, if only they had incorporated like a like like if the angels are using some sort of iterative tactical strategy, they're fully abandoning moderately effective plans before proving that they're failures. You're muted, my guy.
So I think at that point,
There you
um, I think at that point it starts to become more of a. I think, I think the nanobot one is the first time it realizes what human intelligence is, and immediately it starts to try to pivot to just deal with human intelligence as much as possible. I think the nanobots are the first time where it realizes humans are intelligent, and that's the biggest threat to it at that point is, oh shit, these
Even
things
though
think
literally the
and
bigger
plan.
threat would be to take over our technology.
Yeah, but I don't think it gets that concept. I think it runs into, oh shit, this is what's been stopping me the entire time. I need to adapt to that thing.
Well, literally every angel we get from the nanobots on deals with human psychology. Like
Yep.
it completely pivots towards like I would even argue that this shadow angel is a an attempt to attack the human psyche. Like,
Yep.
oh, you think in this dimension, let me invert it for you.
Yep. Everything after this is either an attack on our perception of reality or an attack on our our
Yeah,
interactions
how
with
you describe
reality.
that. Yeah.
And it's really fascinating to see that change from this point onward and just see these angels start to try to like realize that human intelligence is its greatest enemy and just trying to destroy human intelligence instead. Either
Well, and then the
destroy or
last angel
understand
is
it.
a straight up manipulation tactic.
Oh, 100%. Like that is their last gambit is fuck, let's just make one of them and throw that at them.
Which arguably backfires harder on them.
Yeah, because he goes native. Yeah, they make it like the last ditch effort of the angels
You
is
gave them
make a
you gave
human.
him too much humanity.
Yep.
Try to
All right. Nope.
You're muted.
Yep, you're muted now.
You lost me, bud.
All right.
You were there for the first part of that sentence, and then it was me.
Yeah, we heard. All right, and then nothing.
I hate everything.
All right, go for it. We can hear you now.
Or not.
They basically reverse Skynetted themselves.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I can see that.
But I mean, like they gave the T-800 too much of an ability to think and become empathetic and self-learning and reinforcing. They even only made one T-8000 or T-1000 because they knew how dangerous it would be. Like they just I don't know if it's a reverse Skynet. It feels just like a Skynet.
Kind of is. It's more of a biological Skynet, but yeah. Yeah.
I'll see.
No, I fucking love this. I love the way the series goes from this point onward. Although I know super problematic some episodes, but like the idea behind the angels is so cool from this moment onward.
They should really tell this story from the angel's perspective. Like we
I would
don't
be
know any
fascinated.
of the human characters at all. It's just all angels.
Yep. So anyway, the Nerve team sets up for the fact that
Nerve.
Shinji is now stuck inside of the angel, and of course, two teenage
We've got a
girls fight.
countdown.
It's two teenage girls. They have to have an argument.
Well, yeah, because they got to fight over the man.
Yep. Well, it's more Asuka fighting over him and Rei being like, "Can you just fucking grow up for 5 minutes and let's focus on other things that matter?"
We get a lot of women fighting each other in this episode.
Yeah. We also get a lot of Shinji stuck in the void and eventually starting to drown in his own fecal and urine.
Oh God, is that the implication?
The the filtration system stops working.
I thought that was more to discuss the idea of like oxygen.
It is, yes, but hypothetically, he's been in there a long time. Like the filtration system's also there to filter out like waste.
He's just in a very toxic environment in a very literal sense this time, as
Yep.
if he's not in a constantly toxic metaphorical environment.
One might say septic,
Yeah.
One might say septic. Yes, Josh.
I mean,
like a septic tank.
considering I'm saying this is like definitely the implication when
Why is explaining the joke funnier?
I don't
Why?
know. It always is.
Yep.
I love it.
So I'm also gonna say like I'm pretty sure he's drowning in his own piss because by the time he starts freaking out and trying to get out, it is
I
yellow
didn't.
in there. It is
I did.
just yellow.
I didn't need that.
It's yellow and it is cloudy. You see like particles in there now.
I didn't need this, Nick.
but it's what you got.
He's just he begins screaming, and a little piece just comes, taps him on the mouth.
Yeah, you're right. Um, and then we get the psychological part where the like the line using his voice, that is 100% the angel just talking to him, and I love that concept too, that the angel uses his own voice to talk to him.
Well, it doesn't. It frankly doesn't know any other human other than the human that it's consumed.
Yep.
So of course it would approach him in a form that it had available to it.
Yep. And it goes into that too, that like this is what it's been exposed to, so it's using him as the conduit to talk to himself. And it's using his memories to like try to craft like to communicate to him. And it's so fucked. I love it because he's like, "Hey, life kind of seems like it's shitty there, sport."
It sure is.
Bored.
And it like starts talking about like the perception of others and the role that has on him, and how other people's views on him impact his views on himself. And basically just like completely fucking up this 14-year-old boy by saying like, "Hey, um, you desperately want people to like you, and that in turn is causing you a great amount of duress, keeping people from liking you, along with other things."
It's like,
Yeah.
do you really need to focus on learning the humans? You pretty much just shattered each one you talk to.
Yeah, like, maybe it would just be better if the angels won after all. Did you ever think about that? Then there just wouldn't be any of you. We were here first. You could leave.
That is a theory, and I like it.
Advocating for alien or angel reparations over here.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I like Shinji screaming at his dad, and then little Shinji talking to him from behind.
Yeah, scream louder.
And then we just get
Please,
a bunch of
scream.
like Japanese text that I assume is related to the news.
14-year-old boy goes missing.
Yep.
In giant mech stolen from the government.
Also,
Warrant for his arrest.
It
I
was
love.
never the property of the government.
Yep. No, it's a they're a
They
private
still put
contractor.
they still put the warrant out for Shinji's arrest for leaving, going AWOL.
Yep. I also love the line, like the moving line thing. That is 100% just a way to save money too.
Oh god.
Like,
Yeah, but it was well done
yeah,
enough where it was you could tell who was speaking, and it's not meant to be something that like he's in an acid trip, and you don't always have the ability to describe all the things you see.
that's true. Yeah, no, again, I appreciate like all these little choices. Like you can see like under the hood where they're like, okay, they saved money here and here, but they did it in an
Oh,
effective way where,
sometimes they show
yeah, like
you.
they did it in an effective way this time where it worked for me. Like even like Shinji like passed out in the uh in the Ava works for me. And then we get
Yeah.
the soul of his dead mother trying to commune with him. How'd you like that? That finally the Ava starts trying to talk to him because his mom's like, "You're gonna die."
You're literally covered in your own piss and shit right now. You're
You
gonna
realize
die.
the volume of liquid in that area? Like there's no like how much do you think that he's ingested in order to make it that color? Like it's
A
got to
lot.
be just a like
I'm
you
also,
know your blood cells get filtered through like your kidneys and liver and shit. Like
No,
It's not just his shit and piss. I just do not. I reject this.
Oh no,
no, no.
I'm also
See,
fucking with you.
Gendo has a backup plan for if Shinji ever got caught. He's never actually dumped any of the waste. He's just kept it in like an actual septic tank.
God damn.
Release the valve.
No,
Just don't.
also, Alex,
the
if you remember in
fuck?
an earlier episode, we see what the LCL looks like when he first goes in it, and it does look like this. It's just the suit is powering down, and because of that, it's in low power mode, which is why it looks this way.
Okay.
Yeah, the life support systems are basically the only thing that's still running right now, which is why it's gone to this form.
He's lucky he can even still process oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like our way better.
God
also,
no.
I love when he like starts breaking his way out because he's finally like communicating with the soul of the Ava, and then he forces it to
God,
invert. So then suddenly it's the black part in the sky, and he rips his way out of it.
so bloody.
Oh,
It's
is
so
that what
good.
happened? It forced it to invert?
Yeah, yeah, because you notice like it goes from that like weird
Well,
black and white thing to
you see
all
it like
black.
breaking up the shadow on the ground, but I didn't realize it fully inverted.
Yeah, no, like suddenly the black part, the all black part's in the sky, and then he tears it open in the sky to get out.
Well, if a three-dimensional being is going to escape its enclosure, you'd think it'd be in the three-dimensional part of the being.
Hmm.
But this shit is like a wake-up call for everybody. Like, what is that?
This is metal
Uh,
as fuck, and I love it.
he performed his own C-section.
Yeah, I love that like Ray is the only one that's like completely fine with this. Everyone else is like various degrees of upset with what they're seeing
She's
as
just
the
in there like, my God,
fucking Ava
fucking
chest
metal.
bursts its way out of the angel.
His
Just
mom was a bad bitch.
rain of blood
Oh yeah, she
down.
was wanted in 12 countries.
Yeah.
Wanted in 12 systems.
Yeah, this thing fucking this is dope as
You'll
fuck.
be more careful.
Will be next.
You can tell that like this part is the part they put most of their money towards in this episode.
You're not gonna not have the whole like. You're not gonna low budget breaking forth in this bloody storm.
Yeah, and then they just show him in a silhouette, basically
Yep.
dripping in blood, like he's that toddler meme. Just like, "Mom, my food up."
It's low poly Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So yeah, then they get him out of the suit and they start hosing it down and hosing him down.
I feel like it's a lot of biological material they want to study.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That was a
Too bad it's
two-dimensional
contaminated.
being that he just killed. They're gonna study the shit out of that. I would change my entire life path if I got a hold of biological samples from a fully two-dimensional being. That would just be my life.
I feel like I would develop religion at that point or something.
I feel like, well, shit, I guess I have to believe now. This shouldn't be possible.
There's got to be an explanation.
Da-da-da.
Yep, the explanation is God is pissed.
And Masato has a full breakdown.
And Ray does a hospital scene.
And
Gotta
Asuka waits
hand it
out in
to
the
her.
hallway. This will be referenced later.
Yeah, well,
So yeah, that was the episode. We glossed over a lot of the talky bits because they didn't matter particularly, in my opinion, as much as just how fucking cool this angel is.
my favorite angel is ball shaped.
Yeah.
Alex is silently judging. I feel it. I see it.
Yeah,
You play with your coin.
that was the episode. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I obviously went off on how much I love this thing and my fan
No.
theories.
Your fan theories that are canon.
I mean, I still think that's the case. I don't 100% know if it is or not, but like, hot damn, it would make sense. Yeah,
I think we all have to just agree.
I mean, it makes the most sense to me, but I'm not gonna claim I know. Anyway, though, yeah, that was the episode. Tune in next time. Bye bye.
Bye now.